The Securities and Exchange Commission failed for more than a decade, despite warnings, to bust the confessed Ponzi schemer. How did they miss it? I got to sit down with Maddoff's lawyer, Ike Sorkin, who broke down what went wrong at the SEC.
If there's a lesson to be learned with Maddoff, as well as the boiler rooms, the scams, is that, and it's sad to say this, it's the greed of the customer. It's the greed where they can make their money, triple their money in 2 weeks. It's the greed where the market will always go up. It's the greed where I can get out anytime I want. That's the problem.
It sounds like you're blaming Maddoff's victims.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But on the other hand, it's a lesson for potentially future victims to ask questions. There were many people who gave money to Maddoff and were told, don't ask how I'm making the returns that I'm making. If you ask, you're out.
And with the SEC, if they had done simple things, who are your counterparties? Let's see the records of the executions and the trades. They never asked for that stuff.
There are 5 things they didn't really pursue. Number 1, if you are trading billions of dollars worth of securities at foreign banks, tell us the names of the banks. Number 2, who's got custody of the securities? And the answer was, oh, they're back there, we've got them. It's okay. Number 3, you're being charged commissions for these executions in these foreign banks. Let's see your general ledger to see these executions. Number 4, who's your outside auditor? Well, it's a guy up in New City. He's got 2 people working with him. It's in a mall. Common sense says. And the last one, which is important, is, as you said, who's the counterparties? If they had gone to the DTCC with slips of confirmations and asked the DTCC, who's the counterparty? Who's on the other side? They would have found nothing. There is nothing that I have seen, heard, learned that suggests in any way that the boys and Ruth knew about this. And he refused to allow the boys to come in because I believe that he knew at some point this was all going to go away. It's going to collapse, and he needed to protect the boys. I will tell you, there were some very wealthy people who knew what he was doing and profited by it.
Jeffrey Pickauer. I interviewed Mr. Madoff, as you know, in jail, and we went through the list. Stanley Chase, Jeffrey Pickauer, Norm Levy. The Pickauer estate returned without any questions. $7 billion. He disclosed the whole thing when I was talking to him, as he's disclosed to lots of other people, that Pickauer and these other very wealthy early members of his scheme would tell them the profits. They would dictate the profits they were to have on an annual basis.
Or the losses that they needed.
Right.
We've got something special for you coming up on the anniversary of the Maddoff arrest. Irving Picard, he is the bankruptcy court trustee entrusted to recover the funds for the Maddoff victims. So far, that's at greater than $13 billion, $11 billion of which has been dispersed to Maddoff victims. He joins us live here for a Yahoo Finance exclusive on December 11th. So you want to be sure to tune into that. And then one last thing, if you want to get a sense of the enormity of the Maddoff Ponzi scheme, we have a graphic that shows it. And this, remember, is referred to as a $65 billion Ponzi scheme. That's greater than the net worth of Mark Zuckerberg. It's greater than the market cap of Tesla, and almost as much as the market cap of NFL teams, although ad revenue was dropping for them on TV.